Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into the show that's on in the afternoon. We've got a great guest today. Great show.
Awesome human being.
Yeah, man. Quinterrance Cooper joining us in studio. He is the athletic director at St. Augustine High School and also the co-founder of Reset, which we're going to talk about here very soon.
I want to learn more about Reset. I'm excited about that conversation too.
Such a great program, man. And we'll dive more into that, into what we can expect from this year's football season too.
Oh, I know. I can't wait for that conversation too.
It has been an exciting last few years at St. Augustine High School. Not only for football. I mean, they've got a lot of sports teams that have been doing very, very well over the last few years. So we'll talk to him about that as well. And of course, we've got your horoscopes.
Oh, great. It's my first day of...
The stars really being jerks.
I'm sure you recruited them too. Special day, Wednesday, Scorpio and Sagittarius.
I told them to make Wednesday the most brutal ones you've got.
Oh, man.
And we're going to get you out of here on a laugh.
Yeah, I'll fix it, yeah.
There you go. We rely on you for that here, Davey. We really do. But before we get there, I'll remind you that our friends at Bozard Ford Lincoln help us put on this show each and every day. They're great. They've been more than just a dealership since 1949. They're a family-owned beacon of trust right here in St. Augustine. They're founded on the principles of honesty, integrity, and community service. The Bozard family tradition continues to thrive through generations. They've got that state-of-the-art service facility, 91 climate-controlled service bays out there, a quick lane if you just need to pop in and pop out. No appointment needed. Plus, you can enjoy the comforts of their customer lounge and the unique flavors of Ford's Garage. Great burgers out there. Great
the 94 Now burger, the best one out there.
Pretty much the best.
So good.
The proud recipients of the prestigious Triple Crown Award and named Florida's Dealer of the Year by Dealer Rater. Their team dedicated to providing an enjoyable and efficient experience. Bozard Ford Lincoln offers the best in pricing, selection, and service. Big supporters of the Yellow Jackets, too, by the way. Just off I-95 and State Road 16, where your satisfaction is their mission, and they are driven to inspire. Also, our friends at the Bailey Group. Over 300 companies and organizations trust the Bailey Group to carefully craft a benefits program that supports and reflects their vision. Because no matter where you want to go, they want to help you get there together. Their first priority is helping you take care of yourself and your family. They want to sit down with you. They want to learn more about your personal situation. They want to identify your dreams, your goals. They want to understand things like your risk tolerance, because this is going to help them put together the perfect plan to perfectly suit your needs.
Yeah, don't overpay.
Yeah, definitely don't overpay.
They let them do it. They'll streamline it for you.
Yeah, you went in there and met with them. They saved you hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
$100 a month. Can you imagine? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, over $1,000 a year.
Right.
That's huge.
That's what they did for me. For free.
Yeah. And they'll do that for you, too. Davey didn't get celebrity treatment on that.
No, it's everybody. Yes.
904-461-1800. And then, of course, our friends at Elace Med Spa as well. If you are looking for a relaxing and rejuvenating experience, look no further than Elace Med Spa. Out there at Elace, they specialize in providing their clients with a wide range of luxurious spa treatments and advanced medical aesthetic procedures. You might be looking to unwind with a hydrofacial. Very nice experience out there. You can enhance your natural beauty with things like dermal fillers, laser treatments, Botox, and a whole lot more. Elace is the place that will definitely save your face.
Thank goodness.
Check them out at elace.com and look into those memberships as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sign up for those. You can win that Louis Vuitton bag that they're giving away. I'm not kidding you. Like a legit Louis Vuitton bag.
Right.
Amazing. Go check that out on Instagram.
This is not a fall off the truck Louis Vuitton bag.
No. I've seen that too. Canal Street Specials, what they're called. No. This is legit, baby.
Yeah, man. It's pretty awesome.
Run, don't walk.
Pretty awesome. Hey, speaking of pretty awesome, we got Quinterrance Cooper in studio here with us. And we're going to talk about all things St. Augustine High School and Reset. Quinterrance, how you doing this afternoon, man?
I'm great, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being out here, man. Glad to have you in studio. So, athletic director at St. Augustine High School.
Yeah.
What did it mean to you when they asked you to take on this position? I mean, your alma mater, you were a star athlete out there back in my day.
Right.
So what does it mean to you to be running the ship out there right now? What are you excited about?
I mean, coming back after school, it was something I never thought I was going to do.
Really?
I never thought I was going to get an education. I knew I wanted to do something with sport. Obviously, on the high school level, you got to teach.
Yeah, sure.
To coach, to make a living, especially in St. Johns County.
Yeah.
But when the opportunity came, I kind of felt like it was my duty to put in for that position, to try to give back to the very community that gave to me. playing sports all through high school, anybody that plays sports for a number of years would say that's what made them into the person they are today.
Sure.
I genuinely believe playing sport is what made me to the guy I am today, because I'm not the same guy that I was back then. You know what I mean? So just trying to give kids an opportunity to do more, to see more, and make sure we taking care of our kids through sports, teaching them life lessons. And so that's the big part of St. Augustine High School. We always talk about the person, the student, the athlete. We want to have great people. We want to make great people. Student part, we want to make sure that we giving kids the opportunity to go out and if the college is something they want to do, fine. You here, you can do it. If trade school is something you want to do, you have the ability to do that. And in the athlete part, obviously we got great athletics at St. Augustine High School, but most time that take care of itself. Most times that's God given. But we're gonna push that too. So anytime you see me write an email or I'm out talking, I'm always going to talk about the person, the student, the athlete, and it's non-negotiable. Yeah. And that's how we want to lead, and that's what we want to buy into first.
Well, I love that you understand that role of building people. You know, it's not just building athletes. It's not just building people who can go on and get a scholarship and you know, just do athletics and then that's it. They move on to something else. When you think about it,
I mean, when you think about athletics, at St. Augustine High School, we got over 600 athletes. So we got over 600. That's almost a third of the student population. Out of those 600 athletes, only about 25 to 35 are going to go off and play college athletics.
Right.
So we got to be more than just the athletic part of it, because majority of our kids are not going off to play college ball in any sport. So that's why we see that as a very important aspect of what we try to do as an athletic program.
But you still have the opportunity to, even if they don't go on to play sports, to impart some wisdom into them, some knowledge, some character into these kids,
and
make them great people.
What perspectives do you think you bring to the table too, being this is your alma mater and coming to the table now as the athletic director? What insights do you have for students nowadays?
A lot has changed from when I was walking through the hallways of St. Augustine High School. But one thing that we always talk about is tradition. So I think sometimes when kids don't understand what the traditions are. I think from my standpoint, it's personal to me because I walk these hallways. I played on these fields and these courts. So these kids, they can come to me and they understand that I'm not coming from a self perspective. I'm coming from the tradition of St. Augustine High School and what it means not only to me, but it means to every alumni that actually has come through here. St. Augustine High School is the biggest alumni base in St. Johns County, obviously, because we've been around the longest. Yeah. So these kids I try to get them to understand how important it is to the community that we do well.
Yeah. That's why the partnership is so important with us doing the football games and stuff like that. Because I mean, I still call it the high school. I still call it the high school. So what do you think are the key components that make up a good athletic department?
I think it's culture. I think culture is big, but it's not just me saying what that culture is going to be. It is me taking directives from my principal and us as an athletic department trying to feed into what the culture of the school that he wants to run. We have a very good administration. I tell our coaches all the time, I don't bark out orders. I give suggestions because everybody need to make it their own. Obviously, the person, the student, the athlete, I can give that to my coaches and say, hey, make this your own, because everybody got a different perspective of what that means to them. But at the end of the day, I don't care what roadmap you take to get to the place that we're trying to get to, just get there. And if and that culture piece is, we want to win, but we want to win the right way. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, and we call it our front doors, like the stadium, the auditorium, the gym. People that come on our campus, most times they're coming on our campus for athletic events, for dance recitals, for chorus events. So when they come, the only perception of our campus, the only perception of our students that they have is how we act on the field, how we act on the stage, those things. So building that culture of when people leave St. Augustine High School for any event, they want to come back.
Right.
So, and that starts in the school building, that starts in the classroom, that starts on the field. And most times you see that after a loss. Yeah. How do we carry ourselves after a loss? It's all fun and games when you're winning. And I'm a big competitor, so I don't think you have fun unless you win.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do we act in those adverse situations that we got to show people this is how we go about our business? And I think that's all built on culture.
Yeah.
You talk about culture, you talk about tradition. A big change 4 or 5 years ago. Joey Wiles had been coaching since we were in school.
Yeah.
You know, he'd been the head football coach and had a lot of success. Brian Braddock takes over, big shoes to fill, but boy, what an amazing job he's been doing. A guy who we went to school with out there at St. Augustine, a guy who knows the tradition, who knows the culture. How was that transition for everyone? Were you AD when he first took over, or were you still
No,
coaching?
I actually coached for Brian. my first year.
Okay.
So this is going into my 3rd year being athletic director.
How was that being in the middle of all of that and having to kind of change some of the trajectory of that culture, that tradition?
Well, Brian grew up under Coach Wiles, as far as coaching wise, but he took a lot of what Coach Wiles did and he made it his own. I don't think any parent would disagree with me when they say they want their kid to play for Brian Braddock. Brian is one of those guys that he's not in it for the money. He's not in it for the wins and losses, which we all love wins. But Brian also instills certain levels of accountability in his players, a certain level of discipline in his players that stems outside of football. A lot of people will tell you when you talk about football, no matter if it's college level, high school level, those guys somewhat set the tone of your school. How your football team acts in school. Do they open doors for young ladies? Do they say yes ma'am, no ma'am? Do they pick up a piece of trash when they see it? All of those little things, people are watching. Football is a high profile. Obviously, I got 28 sports to worry about, but football is the high profile sport. So they got the most eyes on them. So I think Brian has did a great job of making sure that our kids are held accountable and making sure our kids understand that it's just bigger than what you do on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you space it out? I mean, you've got all those different sports, all those different athletes. How do you make sure that each and every sport gets the athletic director's attention and love?
I'm never home. So I'm always
Makes sense.
so I'm always at events, and I always try to catch events on the road, just to let them know that we're watching, that we want to see them succeed. One thing that's different from coaching in my seat now is I don't have the hands-on with athletes anymore. Like when I was the basketball coach, I had my guys every single day. You know what I mean? Now it is, you have to be deliberate in getting out and talking to athletes. And one thing I do, I do lunch duty just so I can be out and athletes can see me. I got an open door policy. They can come talk to me. But I'm always trying to figure out, one, who our athletes are, because we do have 28 different sports, and two, get into those games as much as possible so they can see me, I can get to know them. And it's also that when you get to know your different athletes, you know who, I'm not going to say the cool kids, but you know who the leaders in the group are.
Totally.
Because you got a lot of different walks of life at St. Augustine High School, and you try to find those leaders in every walk. So when something happens, you can go to that kid and be like, hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you do about this? But we do have a athletic leadership council that those kids that we meet regularly, and they can tell me the honest truth about what they feel about the athletic department.
That's great.
And I love that they can be open and honest and say, hey, we don't think you feel this way about this sport, or we need this, or we need that. And in my job, you can't take anything personal. The kids are going to be here for 4 years. They want the best out of their 4 years. Their parents want the best out of their 4 years. So it's my responsibility to listen and try, because it's not always going to happen, to try to do what's best for the entire group, to try to do what's best for the whole.
Yeah. Obviously, kids have a lot more on their plate this year than they did these days, rather, than we did when we were in school. The social media, the phones, all that stuff. Do you see it as a bigger distraction interacting with high school kids as often as you do? Or like, are the kids the same and they just have more access to?
Well, I think they got more access, but I think it's us adults holding them accountable and setting the floor to a place that we know they can get to. One thing I know about sport, the great thing about sport is you're going to be held accountable one way or the other. Either I'm going to hold you accountable as a coach, or your opponent going to hold you accountable, and they're going to humble you.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah.
So I think the obviously the cell phone is something. I guess I'm getting old now because I never thought the cell phone was a problem, but it has its issues. So when trying to relate to some of the kids, I don't know the slang. Like I'm on social media. I'm just a habitual scroller. I don't post much. I just scroll and watch and look. But it becomes an issue until it's not. And I mean, far as us, I used to take kids' cell phones when I was the basketball coach. So when we got off the bus to go to a game, put your cell phone in the bag, you'll get it back afterwards. So it's some things that we could do. It's some things that to hold kids accountable and just to get them talking to each other. Because they can text all day, but you go to a kid and tell them to have a conversation with another kid, it's a struggle. So I think most times it's just getting kids to connect with each other from different walks of life, and obviously the cell phone helps sometimes, but it don't help sometimes.
Yeah. Do you have to, with kids these days, is coaching styles different than it was when you were coming up?
Oh, absolutely.
What kind of question are we going with that one?
Oh, absolutely. It's a fine line, my man. It's some stuff that happened back when I was playing.
I still have PTSD from my experience.
It is a fine line. I mean, I want our coaches to be old school mentality in a sense of we got to get the job done. There's no choice. You don't get to decide when and where. It is get the job done. But we stay in a different society now than it was 10 years ago. Some of the stuff that I went through as a player, you can't do that anymore.
Right.
Whether it's just science based or whether it's just parents and lawsuit based. You know what I mean? So,
sure.
It has definitely changed. And we'll keep it at that.
Well, you talked a lot about the traditions. Has that changed? Has that affected any of the traditions of the Jackets?
I think when you talk about traditions, it's very tricky because sometimes you want to evolve traditions.
Okay.
And then people, they're not stuck in their ways, but that's the way they remember it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if I remember a tradition a certain way, I might not want that to change. And at St. Augustine High School, there are tons of traditions that we do. And you don't want to be the person that comes in and change it, but we also want to get modern.
Right.
So we also want to modernize things to the point that it's still set in stone tradition. We just do it a different way.
Okay, cool. I like that approach. That's awesome.
Yeah. Let's talk about doing things a different way. Reset program.
Oh, yeah.
This is something you started in 2020.
Correct.
Right before the world changed, right?
Yep.
So talk to me about that time. Talk to me about your vision in co-founding Reset and what you wanted it to be, and are you on track for that right now?
So Reset, and that's an acronym for Redirecting Engagement Strategies Empowering Teens.
Okay.
So when I was the basketball coach, obviously when you're coaching a basketball team, you want to do something that's meaningful outside of basketball. My first year it was all about winning. I didn't sleep. I just watched film. I just practice. And I realized that all this basketball, we're not doing anything to make sure our kids are successful once they graduate high school. So I completely flipped the script. My co-founder, Alyssa Kelly, was at St. Augustine High School at the time. She was like a liaison to the basketball team and football team as well. And she handled a lot of the extracurriculars, probably when we talk about academics and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So we started with a simple study hall. And then that came into let's set goals. What do you want to do after high school? And then we slowly figure out by having those conversations with the players, we slowly figured out a lot of these kids have no clue what they want to do after high school. They don't know if they want to go to college. They don't know if they want to work. They don't know if they want to go to trade school. So me and her start developing Reset through St. Augustine High School basketball to the point that we wanted to make sure when a kid left high school, they had somewhat of a plan of what they wanted to do. So we started with after school tutoring, obviously getting kids in to help. That start with the mentor piece, that we can have those conversations while we're actually helping them academically get to where they want to go. With that, we met with almost every nonprofit that we can think of in St. Johns County, because we didn't want to just be another nonprofit that's doing the same thing that other nonprofits are doing.
Duplicating services, right.
Absolutely. So we always talked about, we want to be a bridge more so than an obstacle. So, and if we tried to do every single thing ourselves, that was going to be a problem. That was going to be an obstacle, because we can't do it.
Right.
So if we're going to be a bridge to get kids to the services that they need. So if a kid's with us and they family needs help, that's probably Epicure. That's probably Hugs. That's Flagella Care Connects or UFL Connects. It's those little things that sometimes the kids that we have, they just don't know where to get the services.
Right.
So we wanted to be that point person to a family that says, I am in need of this. Okay, cool. We have those connections. Let's get that person or that family to those different spots, to those different places. We have worked with the sheriff's office to get mentors. We'll work with different local nonprofits for mentors. It's just something that we wanted to establish, that if you wanted to do something, we just got to sit down and we got to figure it out, and then you can do it.
But how do you turn the light on with a kid that has no direction and no dream? How do you inspire them to, like, hey, this is out there for you? Do you find a quality within each student and say, hey, you're really good at this, maybe you should go in that direction? Or do you wait for that organic approach?
I think you got to do a little bit of both. I think it's a slow process, because kids got to trust you in order to open up to you.
Yeah.
They got to trust you. If they don't trust you, there's no point in doing it. So I think we have established with our volunteers a level of trust with our kids, that they know we have their best interests in mind. And then sometimes you just got to take a kid out of their comfort zone. Like last year, we took like 10 kids to Ring Power.
Cool.
We took them out to Ring Power. We did the whole tour.
Yeah.
They learned about the apprentice program.
It's huge behind that big building. It's amazing.
Yeah. So some of the stuff they do out there, we took them there, and it opened their eyes to oh, this is here. This is in St. Augustine. I mean, we've been on many different tours to Flagella College, or just little things. We took a group of kids to Savannah to go to the Scat Museum.
Cool.
Those type of things. So it's just,
They never would have had that opportunity.
they never would have had the opportunity. It's just taking them out of their comfort zone to make sure that they know it's out there.
Do you see that magic after one of these excursions?
Yeah, so, and sometimes it's just, we got kids that's on aura rigs. We got kids that's in college playing ball. We got kids that's now back being teachers. So it's certain kids that we came in contact with that we just making sure that they have the opportunity to know what it is. You know what I mean? And I'm a big person on choices. I never give kids I'm never going to give you, this is what you're going to do.
Right.
I'm going to give you this side of it, and I'm going to give you this side of it. And hopefully as adults, we gave you the right tools to make the right decision.
I like your emphasis on options. You've talked about this a couple times in this conversation, whether it be you may have the option to go to college or trade school or go straight into work. You know, when I was in high school, it was hard for me to get motivated to do well in high school, because I didn't see college in my future, right? But I didn't think there were really any other options. It was like, either you're going to college or maybe I'll bust tables at a restaurant for the rest of my life, you know? So I think preparing kids for more than just a path to college, for a path to success, no matter what route they want to go down, is very, very important.
Some of it is getting kids to understand their why. And my parents would tell you, I did not want to go to school. I remember us dropping my brother off to college, and they asked me, do you see us doing this for you one day? And I looked both of them dead in the eye and I said, no.
Really?
I don't want to go.
Not for everybody.
I hated school.
Yeah.
But my why turned into, if he can do it, I can do it. So now
Your why me turned into try me.
Yeah. So when you think about just that scenario that I just said, some of these kids are going to be the first in their family. So now they're changing their family trajectory to now other people in their family can see that it can be done. So it's getting kids to understand that it might not be about you. It might be about a generation next or the generation 2 that's coming, that they see, hey, my cousin, my brother, my sister, they was able to do it. I probably can do the same thing, or I can do it a little differently. So it's one of those things where we love what we do. Obviously, I'm a full-time athletic director. Alyssa's a full-time assistant principal at the Gaines school. So it's almost 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is when kids come back and they say, hey, I appreciate you. Thank you. And we're not doing it for that, but that's good to hear that sometimes when we're doing all this work and they come back and say they appreciate it.
Do you remember an isolated incident of one student that was like the aha moment, like this is the birth of Reset, this is the success story?
We have one kid by the name of LaRon. He was one of my basketball players, and he was a kid that he had a rough upbringing.
Yeah.
I just seen him a couple months ago at a game, and he's now working for an oil company. He's now doing things that he never thought he would do. And the path that was going down was not the path for success at all. So those are the kids that we want to work with. Those are the kids that we want to see succeed. But we got kids from all walks of life. I mean, we got kids that come in just to tutor other kids. We got elementary kids. We got middle school kids. The thing that we got one young lady right now that's been with us since 7th grade. Wow. That she's now going to be a junior. So it's one of those things where we want to try to get them early and get them young. So at the end of the day, there's no excuse. There's no excuse of what you can do once you walk across that stage and get your high school diploma.
That's awesome. It's an awesome message to be giving these kids, especially some of them who are just not hearing that message from anyone.
Correct.
Right?
And it's hard, man. And working in a school every day, the resources, it's hard to do some of the extra in a school building because of the resource availability.
Right.
St. Johns County School District does a great job of trying to get to the point where they can service every single student. But it's hard. It takes local groups and it takes local people to mentor and to educate and just give a little piece of themselves up for the betterment of the group. Because at the end of the day, I'm not sitting here if it wasn't for the St. Johns County, St. Augustine community.
Yeah,
it's not. So that's what we're about. That's what we want to be about, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
It's awesome, man. So looking ahead, what are you looking forward to for goals for Reset? And then also goals during your athletic director tenure.
We'll start with St. Augustine High School first.
Okay.
The goal is to just make sure that we are putting out a product that when people, the general public, look at us, they can say they doing it the right way. There's a lot of changes coming with high school athletics, but making sure that we do things the right way, that we making our community proud. I could say the state championship game, I can't tell you how many people were in the stands.
Yeah.
And some of those people probably don't watch football, but they got behind a local team that wanted to, that got to that game.
Just watching the send-off was amazing.
Was
I mean, there were hundreds of people at the send-off.
The send-off was crazy.
I couldn't move around out there. There were tons of people.
So
big shout out to Sheriff Harwick because that was huge.
Oh, he rolled out the red carpet for those guys, man. It was awesome.
And the great thing about it is too, and I know we talk about football a lot, but he does that for every single team that comes out of St. Johns County.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how big or small the team is. He does it for every team. They get a send-off.
That's cool.
And they get the lights and they get to, he does it for every team.
That's
so,
awesome.
As far as Reset is concerned, obviously, we own a piece of property that we're going to try to develop that property so that property can be our hub to build a space where that can be our hub of services.
That's great.
We got relationship with counselors and psychiatrists. We got relationships with everybody. And sometimes it's just people need a place to do it at because the stigma around certain stuff and certain issues, we're not hiding it, but we got a place that you can take care of your business if you need to. So we always getting volunteers. Obviously, we're a nonprofit, so we're not paying ourselves. We're not paying people. So we're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for mentors. Obviously, in a time like this, we always looking for funding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a hard time for funding right now just because of the way things are in the world. But we're always looking for the next step forward. This is going to be year 5 for us, so we're just using that. We're just getting to that place of maturity where most big grants want you to be at for far as timing wise. So we withstood a lot of trials and error. So I think we're maturing now to the point of we're here to stay, and no matter whether it's 40 kids or is it 5 kids, we're going to make sure that we do our best to service the kids that we have walking through our doors.
That's awesome.
Awesome, man. Well, Quinterrance, we appreciate your work, not only as the athletic director who's just bringing so many people out to these games, getting our community excited about St. Augustine High School sports, but also the things that we don't see
Absolutely,
through programs like Reset. Just amazing stuff. Keep up the great work. Glad to have you in studio.
So
we got to get you
good.
back sometime soon.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the one I want to get back for because you can't do that on camera. But yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys. I watch you guys all the time. I think you guys are a stakeholder in what St. Johns County is and what it's becoming. Sometimes I just laugh. Like I told Davey texted me the other day, and I say, "Hey, make sure you're keeping those guys in line. They go off the line sometimes." Man.
No, we all need help on that. We all need help on that
But
sometimes.
again, man, appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. That
Powerful stuff, man.
is a leader, tried and true. Such a great human being. That's awesome.
Man.
Great chat.
Very cool stuff he's doing with St. Augustine High School and Reset, man. We're proud to have somebody like Quinterrance in our
Inspiring,
community,
though.
man.
That was great.
All right. Well, hey, you know what else is great?
What is it?
Hopping on an Old Town Trolley.
Oh, boy.
St. Johns County residents always going to tour free when accompanied by a full fare paid adult guest on the Old Town Trolleys. If you want to take advantage of this, very, very easy. All you got to do is go to hometownpass.com, spend 3 minutes clicking a few keys on the keypad or on your phone, and you're done. You're getting free rides when you're bringing a guest with you who's paying. And this is great for visiting friends and family. Now's the time. People are coming into town. People want to, you don't want to hang out with them necessarily the whole time. So give everybody something to do. You
Perfect.
can, if you're sick of your family on the train, you can hop off at a stop and get back on a different train, then meet up with your family later.
AKA Bin 39, just saying. Yeah.
That's right.
It's perfect. Just drop them off.
Yeah. Old Town Trolley. They're the green trains. We love them.
And for over 45 years, Steve Chapman's All-American Air have been serving St. Augustine and its surrounding counties, including St. Johns, Flagler, Duval, and Putnam. Their areas of expertise include warranty and non-warranty service work on all makes and models of AC units. They also have those incredible preventative maintenance service agreements. They can do new construction installations and equipment replacement with high-efficiency systems. From the most efficient Lennox home systems to the iComfort Ultra Smart Thermostat, All-American Air has all the latest and greatest in your HVAC products. Give them a call today, 904-461-0070.
And you mentioned Bin 39, definitely right there at a stop to the Old Town Trolleys, and you can hop off and grab yourself a great glass of wine or bring a bottle home.
Yes.
They got over 95 wines for you to choose from, for you to sample, have a glass of, or again, take a bottle home for a special event or something you got coming up. If you don't know necessarily what to pair with your special event, all you got to do is ask the crew down there. They're not only super helpful, but they are super knowledgeable. Sometimes you go to a place and you ask maybe your server, hey, what would you recommend for this? And you can tell they have no idea.
They have no idea.
But our friends at Bin 39 are super highly educated, and you can tell that you are getting advice from somebody who really knows what they're talking about. So don't be afraid to ask questions out there at Bin 39. They really take pride in helping you find the perfect wine for any situation. They also have beer out there if you're drinking there.
Absolutely, yes. They've got craft beers out there. Pretty awesome.
All right, it is horoscope time. Yay. Davey's not thrilled. Scorpio, Sagittarius on deck. We'll start with Scorpio. Oh, Scorpio, your intensity is unmatched. This is not that bad so far.
Not bad so far.
like a bulldozer in a china shop.
I'm fine with it.
This week, your friends and loved ones will avoid you because you'll make every situation about 10 times more dramatic than it needs to be.
This is totally me, you guys. I love this.
Your passion borders on obsession, and spoiler alert, that's why your last relationship went up in flames. Ooh, wow.
Last 5. Let's do that.
Trust issues? Keep feeding them. It's the only thing that won't disappoint you. Have fun with your latest conspiracy theory that no one else cares about. Well, you're not a big conspiracy theory guy.
No. But interesting, though, with the some of those facts. Gotta tell you, there's a little bit of truth serum in that one.
That's what these are about.
Oh, yeah.
Sagittarius. Good news, Sagittarius. Your eternal optimism will blind you to just how underwhelming your life actually is. You'll get a fleeting burst of wanderlust only to end up on your couch scrolling through travel photos you'll never take.
Oh.
Your delusion that everything will magically work out keeps you in a pathetic loop of unfulfilled dreams and missed opportunities. Keep ignoring responsibilities. It's what you're best at, after all.
After all.
Yeah. Okay. Light it up, David.
Well, the St. Augustine Amphitheater Market is happening, as we all know.
That's a great one.
It's such a fun one. This Saturday, 8:30 to 12:39 p.m.
What?
I'm not kidding you. That's the number that's in the read here.
Okay.
Under the oaks for local fresh food, produce straight from the farm, handmade arts and crafts, and live entertainment. You snap and we'll match the fresh access bucks.
Okay.
The market also offers monthly events such as the St. Johns County Public Library System Bookmobile on the first and third Saturday of each month, yoga on the first Saturday of the month, and cooking demonstrations on the fourth and Saturday of the month. I'll put this all in comments. Everyone's like, what? Wait, what day? So I'll put that there for everybody.
Cool.
But also the music is available to enjoy from the St. Augustine or the amphitheater's front porch stage. Very, very cool. We all have it out there. 8:30 a.m. to 12:39 p.m. The June St. Augustine Amphitheater's Farmers Market.
That's a very interesting time
right
frame
there, yeah.
All right.
Ooh, this is interesting. This is a great one for you. Container gardening. Think
For me?
outside the pot, Pete. Yeah. With design in mind, come join the COA for a visual presentation and hands-on demonstration as they feature into the world of beautiful and interesting concepts of container gardening. You'll learn how to select your pots, how to plant indoors and out, and use basic design techniques in utilizing small trees, plants, flowers, veggies, and herbs.
Okay.
Presented by the St. Johns County Master Gardener, Karen Doyle. Ooh, there's a Master Gardener in town.
Well, you could give yourself that title if you want.
Okay,
I'm sure.
Karen's probably been through some mulch in her time. I'm proud of Karen.
Sure,
yes.
she has, but also somebody could just walk off the street and claim that title.
Somebody blessed her with that title. Karen, call me. Give them a shout, 904-209-3655. There's no charge with class held on Monday, July 15th.
A legit Master Gardener would charge. Okay.
Rude.
Sorry. This is what Quinterrance was talking about. You guys keeping me in line here. It's not possible, Quinterrance.
We'll see if you can maybe help out the St. Augustine YMCA. They're in need of gently used clothing and shoes from toddlers to teenagers.
Yeah, because their members pay $1 million to me. Sorry.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. Like $160 a month. Expensive.
That's a lot.
That's a lot
of money. Yeah. Oh, how much? Well, they get the pool, I guess. I don't know. Bring it to attention to Lori Saylor. But yeah, they can do some drop-offs at the YMCA location over on the beach. And if you're cleaning out your kid's closet this summer, the YMCA needs your clothes. They will be open to the public on July 27th for drop-off. So yeah, check that out on their page and you can get some more information.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's right.
Thank you, sir. Speaking of good stuff, Magnolia Family Dentistry. We love these folks down there. They are redefining what it means to visit the dentist in St. Augustine and St. Johns County. Led by Dr. Rodriguez, the Magnolia Family Dentistry isn't just about clean teeth. It's about a clean and pristine and extraordinary experience. From the moment you walk through their doors, you're going to be welcomed into their state-of-the-art practice that prioritizes your comfort and well-being. You can experience the difference with Magnolia Family Dentistry, where a healthy smile meets exceptional care. If you want to call, schedule an appointment, see what all your friends and neighbors are raving about, 904-824-0990. They're right there at 108 Whitehall Drive in the 32086, which means they're like 10 minutes from everywhere.
That's awesome.
They're close to you. Magnolia Family Dentistry. We're big fans.
Huge
Big
fans.
Yeah.
Yes, love them. And we're big fans of the United Way of St. Johns County. They're a champion for our community. They create opportunities, they foster education, and they improve the lives of those in need. The United Way of St. Johns County is at the forefront of change by investing in education, health, and financial stability of every person in our community. They're building a stronger, more resilient community for all. We love them over there. Go to unitedway-sjc.org.
And we love Panache as well because since 1987, they have been a cut above the rest. That's why they open their doors. Their mission, caring for their team, their community, and their staff from scalp to soul. Bringing joy to the world. They really do that. One service at a time. I have never walked out of Panache feeling bad. I always walk out of Panache feeling better, no matter what I get over there. It's amazing. It really is. It really is amazing how they can, perform whatever services you want from them down there. And then you look in the mirror, you feel great about yourself. You feel more confident walking out of there.
Right. And now is the time to go.
Yes, it is.
37 years.
That's right. So the 37th customers, right?
Yep. There were, I think, 2 or 3 yesterday, which was pretty awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're posting on their social. It's a cool moment to see them get excited because they're getting the free service. And there's also 20% off of retail stuff, which is really important right now to cash in on that.
Yes, man. Go to getpanache.com. See all the extraordinary services they can offer you.
All right, today we've got signs with some sound life advice.
Okay,
all right,
let's do it.
So this one from this fire department: never do anything you wouldn't want to explain to the paramedics.
Well,
it's really good advice, right?
I do a lot of that anyway, but okay.
Next up, parking advice. Many 3-year-olds are having trouble staying in the lines. Maybe if you want to practice coloring this turtle, this will help you with your parking.
Ooh.
That was shots fired, right?
Yeah.
Next up, advice from a tree. Stand tall and proud. Go out on a limb. Remember your roots. Drink plenty of water. Be content with your natural beauty and enjoy the view.
Oh,
that's very kind.
That is.
Next up,
I didn't know trees could talk.
Oh, yeah, well, they have feelings too.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
Next up, weekend safety brief. Don't add to the population.
What?
Don't subtract to the population.
Whoa.
Stay out of the hospital, the newspaper, and jail. Nobody reads the newspaper anymore. If you do end up in jail, establish dominance quickly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. That's a very interesting set of goals there.
And this next one from Captain Obvious: don't sit on the fence. I mean, duh. No shiitake, Sherlock. Yeah.
Ouch.
Next up, don't cook bacon naked. This is a very good piece of advice. That stings.
It crackles, man. Yeah.
Next up, if no one comes from the future to stop you from doing it, then how bad of a decision can it really, truly be? Right?
I got a lot of answers to that question.
Very esoteric.
Yeah.
Next up, want to start yoga? Hey, how about start by bending over and picking up your dog crap, right? This is known as a downward dog position. Then put it in a bin and you'll get rich.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, accept the fact that some days you are the pigeon and some days you are just the statue.
Yeah, I feel like the statue more days.
Next up, how to twerk. Step 1, reconsider. And finally, if you eat something and nobody else sees you eat it, it has 0 calories.
Okay.
Okay.
Until you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror.
Oh, it's all, yeah. It does. It sticks to you.
Yeah, man. Can't get away from those calories. All right, great show today. Davey, thank you for wrangling that together. Thank you to the guys in the booth. We appreciate you and everybody out there watching. We'll see you in the morning.
Bye, everybody.